Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Coe Show. My name is Mason Coe. I'm here with my co-host Aaron Coe,
That's me.
and today we forgot we already forgot 2 episodes into shouting out our small businesses. So right away we're just gonna get it out of we're just gonna do it. So the businesses we want to shout out today. First of all, Simply Seattle. I'm wearing a Sonics hat from them right now. I have a sweatshirt in there from them. Another sweatshirt coming. They're really great company. Have awesome stuff. Specifically, their Sonic stuff is great. They do have. I mean, they have Seattle sports themed things from even the new hockey team that doesn't have a name yet.
Yeah.
They still have Seattle Dragons stuff if you want some XFL gear. They got Seahawks, Huskies, everything, and then they also just have stuff that has to do with Pacific Northwest and Seattle. So it's not even all sports related.
And they do have a couple cool things going on, and they're not a sponsor, by the way. We just like them, and they're a Seattle business, and they're just like everybody else. Their business is down a bit because of what's happening, but they have a thing right now where you can buy a $5 T-shirt, and the money goes to providing meals for families, and they've raised a bunch of money that way. If you like the Storm, which hey, I like the Storm.
Yeah.
I don't watch them. I'll be honest, I don't really watch them, but I hope they do well.
Yeah.
So they have 20% off their Storm gear right now. They just came out with it. They'd kind of planned it to come out, and
Yeah.
and then they have we have some $20 hoodies coming. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah,
about
$20 hoodies is a super good deal. I mean, they have some really cool stuff for $20 right now. So definitely hop on that.
Because I'm eating like a motherfucker right now, and I need a hoodie to cover this shit
exactly.
up.
Yep.
Jesus.
And then the other one you wanted to.
So actually, I've got a couple of them just real quick. So one of them is if you live around the Mill Creek area, Buffalo Espresso. Obviously, people aren't going to work and school as
Right.
much, so their drive-through is businesses down. But they do, if you're a first responder, they give you free drink, which is, I just think that's really cool that they do that,
Sure.
even though I'm sure their business is down. And then also probably the most essential business that exists right now is Whistle Stop,
Oh yeah. Okay.
where you can go get beer. You can get growlers filled. They have these little things that are fucking amazing. They're called crowlers that comes in a can, and it's like 2.5 pints, which is these days that's like my max, But they have really high, like really good high end stuff. And then I have this app called Untapped, and like I'll get an alert. Whistle Stop has added this Imperial IPA. I'm like, fuck! And I turn my Jeep around, and I have to go to Whistle Stop. Anyway, they're really super nice people. They're awesome. They're always wearing. One of the guys wears Raiders shit.
Yeah, I got an Uber Eats order from them. I did Uber Eats for a while, and I picked up an order from there, and they're really dope people. But yeah, one dude wearing Raiders stuff.
Yeah,
is a little
but he's
questionable.
from there, and he has like a bunch of jerseys. But I give him shit about it. But there's another guy there that's always he went to Kemp's 50th birthday party.
Wow.
He was wearing a signed shirt, and he was wearing Griffey stuff. So they're big sports fans, and obviously people normally could go in there and have a pint or two or seven, but they can't do that now. But you can go in there and get to go stuff. So they're really, again, family business, super nice people. Yep. So yeah.
All right. I guess let's just hop right into some news we have. Some
We
of
have
these
sports news.
sports news. I know
Wow,
it's crazy.
okay.
Chargers this morning just released their new uniforms. In my opinion, they already had. I would definitely say top 5 uniforms in the NFL.
Yeah.
Personally, probably my favorite in the NFL, and they made them better somehow. Hopefully for the YouTube viewers, I'll throw up a picture right now of a couple pictures right now of their new uniforms, but somehow they upgraded them even more. And I think it's a good idea that they're updating their look a little bit to, in this move to LA and their new stadium. I mean, they need every little possible ounce of clout in LA.
Yeah.
Like, they have no fans right now. So even if these cool uniforms can get them some jersey sales, it'll benefit them. But yeah, I mean, compared to all the other alternate logos and jersey releases, I think these are far and away the best.
Well, Atlanta Falcons put out a new one, and it says ATL on the front. I'm like, are you the fucking airport? Like, what is that? Why you can't spell I don't know. Maybe can people in Georgia not spell Atlanta? I don't know what's going on there, but but I don't think people in Georgia are watching this. But sorry if so. But like, what is ATL? But anyway, yeah, the Chargers, they look sharp. I like the number font, which is a big deal to me. They maintain kind of some respect for the classic look that they have. And lightning bolts are just cool.
The lightning bolt logo is pretty much unbeaten. Moving on, a little bit less happy news, I guess. The minor league baseball is gonna downsize a bunch of teams. Apparently, they're getting rid of like 40 teams or something.
Wow. Okay.
Shout out to Alec. He sent a DM this morning and was like, "You should talk about this on the podcast."
Oh man.
I mean, it sucks. What I hope happens because of this is the minor leaguers that still have teams to play on maybe will get paid more. Obviously the part that sucks is however many more kids will not be able to realize their dream of playing professional baseball, even if it's just a single A team. That's something that when I was in Little League and stuff, that would have been a dream of mine for sure, is playing for a minor league team. And now a bunch of kids are not going to be able to realize that dream. But as we said, baseball is dying anyway. So, I mean, I'm guessing that just makes the talent pool a little better, and I'm hoping that the players will get paid a little more. Probably won't happen, I'm guessing.
It's a hard life. I don't think a lot of people realize. I mean, when we have the Everett Aqua Sox nearby, and they live with host families.
Yeah.
And basically, you get your signing bonus. So if you're a first round pick, you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're picked in the 27th round, you might be getting like $10,000.
Yeah.
And then they get paid virtually nothing.
Almost all of them have two jobs, have a job along with baseball.
Yeah, so. And they're eating PB&J before the game.
Yep.
And, it's a hard life, and I think my concern about it, baseball's a unique sport in that, it's hard to measure, can a guy hit, right? Can a guy hit at the major league level? So I think they're gonna fall into the more of the combine type thing where what's his time to first and second base? Like, is he tall? There are even idiotic high school baseball coaches who worry about that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll stop there. But really idiotic baseball coaches out there. Anyway, what was I talking about? No, but I'm afraid that they might, because they're baseball, like Mike Piazza. I think he was 50-some round draft pick.
I don't know.
They don't even have whatever round he was drafted in. I don't even think they have that round anymore. Mm-hmm. The guy's in the Hall of Fame, right? So does a guy like Mike Piazza even get an opportunity?
62nd round.
62nd round. They don't even do that anymore.
1,390th player picked.
How many people above him never touched Major League Baseball, and he's a Hall of Famer?
It's kind of the same story with the XFL too, that we were talking about. Right. How guys like PJ Walker and Jordan Ta'amu, and there's a running back and a few linemen, I think.
Yeah.
Just less opportunities. It just sucks.
Right. So there are guys that who knows? Maybe they would have been great, but they're not going to get a sniff now. So I think it's a bad thing. That being said, I will say this. I covered the Everett Aqua Sox back in the day, some part of the time. And like you would go to an Everett Aqua Sox game and be like, okay, that guy's got no chance. Who's that 17? There's that guy on the mound is 17. What's his name? Felix Hernandez. Holy shit. He's throwing 97 miles an hour and he's 17. Okay. Yeah, I think he's going to make it. Like you can almost pick him out.
Yeah.
You could just watch a few games and be like, yep, nope. And most of them never do, right?
Yeah.
Most of them never make it. So it is a tough life for those guys, and it probably stunts their growth as a man because some of them toil in the minors for 8 years and never make any money, and anyway, I guess there's a good and a bad to it, but I see it as a bad.
Definitely,
I think they're gonna be more guys get missed.
Yeah, for sure. And a lot of like I said, a lot of people, their dream is like making it to the minors and having that grind of having another job and staying with host families. That is like the dream for some people.
Yeah, for sure.
So even without the opportunities to get to the majors, that's bad. But also, I mean that like yeah, that's some kids' dreams, and they won't be able to realize that. So it kind of sucks, obviously.
Yeah.
Moving on. Jalen Green, number one high school prospect to the G League. There's a new program or system where they're paying guys up to $500K apparently. According to Jalen Rose, this will be like the Zion types guy, LeBron.
Right.
Like these are the only guys that are. He said maybe like 2 to 5 guys per year. Maybe this would work for.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
I think I like this because it is going to kick the NCAA in the ass to either pay their players or make it better for them. At least let them make money off their own names, which I know they're already starting to do that kind of stuff. But
right.
I'm hoping that I like watching NCAA sports. I do not like the NCAA though. I don't like the NCAA. So I'm hoping this makes them better now that they have at least a little competition.
Yeah, it's a tough one. So I have trouble seeing how the G League is gonna pay any significant salaries because who's gonna watch these games? Like you're gonna have like the Zions of the world are pretty rare. Like that. Yeah, he's a phenom.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't even have one a year that's like that, right?
No.
There are many years where you don't give a shit who the top guy is at Duke because he's only playing 11 minutes. I mean, look at Jaden McDaniels for the Huskies. I mean, he was he's going to be a top 5 pick. That guy was, I'm sorry, but he was ass for the Huskies this year.
He was not good. And I don't like him either.
No, he looks like a whiny little bitch.
Go ahead and freezing cold takes this in the future, but he's gonna be a bust. He's gonna suck ass. I don't think he'll make it more than 5 or 6 years in the NBA.
So I have a little trouble seeing. So are we gonna go? Are people gonna pay or watch this on TV or go, pay $20 to go get in and see these guys? I don't know. I mean, you watch college basketball. There are people who love college basketball and love the athletes, so there's some of that. But most people watch their team.
Yeah, definitely, because it's not a super high level of basketball.
No,
it's not great basketball to watch, but it's about the team that they're rooting for. What I'm interested to see is a lot of the cities that host G League teams don't have an NBA team and don't have any sports teams.
Right.
They're really small town teams, kind of like minor leagues. So I'm interested to see will teams be able to create enough hype in these small towns to just have like even just a little core fan base, just enough and I don't know who's paying them. I don't know if it's coming from, because I know G League teams are affiliated with NBA teams, but whatever team Jalen Green is signing to, let's say he's signing with the affiliate of the 76ers, that doesn't mean the 76ers are going to have him. He's still going to have to go to the NBA draft. So I don't know who's paying them.
I mean, I'm sure they can get some shoe company sponsors and things like that.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Like I have a little trouble seeing it work beyond a guy or two a year that, and here's the thing, I hear a lot of, these poor athletes are, getting used. Yeah, there's a few. I mean, your top guy or two at your big schools, Zion, he got used by the system. But what about the other 150? Well, for basketball, I think there are 300 Division I programs, something like that.
Yeah.
And most of those guys aren't going pro, so they're going. Education is expensive, right? You know this. I mean, depending on where you go. If you're going to a university, especially if it's out of state, I mean, you're looking at $40,000 to $100,000 per year. It ain't nothing. And a lot of these guys aren't going. Most of them don't go pro. It's a small percentage, so they're getting a free education. So what I hope doesn't happen is a guy goes to the G League. He's not one of the. Let's say it's not a big name. He's not getting $500K. He's getting maybe he's getting $100K.
Mm-hmm.
He does it for a season and a half and gets cut. And he got his $150K, and now he's got no degree. He's got no basketball career. Like, where's this guy going? That's what I worry about with these guys.
So yeah, there are 347 Division I basketball schools, by the way.
Okay. Yeah.
What I have an issue with, I don't necessarily think. I think, like you said, it's going to be one or two guys a year. So I mean, it would take like a freak accident in a way. It would be the same thing as Zion going to Duke and then sucking ass. And then he didn't get drafted, or he got drafted in the second round or whatever. Like, to me, it's the same thing.
But he could play for Duke for 4 years and get an education from one of the top
they're
universities.
They're not doing that though. They're going for 1 year.
Yeah, but they could, like, if he sucked at Duke his freshman year and is like, okay, I'm not ready, he could, like, in theory, I've seen it. I mean, Brandon Roy went for 4 years. He thought about going straight to the NBA. Now, he did obviously end up making plenty of money in the NBA, but it wasn't an issue. But, he changed his course based on his draft prospects. But, yeah, I hate to see guys go, think they're going pro. I saw it a lot, around the Kobe time, Garnett, a lot of guys were like, oh, shit. They made a shitload of money. I'm going to go in. And then they go and they don't get... There are a lot of guys that didn't get drafted at all, or were second-round picks and they toiled for a season or two. And, what are they doing now? I have no idea, because I never heard of them again. But I hope it doesn't... Getting an education paid for is not nothing. Now, I realize for a select number of athletes, yeah, I mean, sure, go pro. I totally get it. If you're a high first-round pick... Yeah, go, motherfucker. What are you waiting for?
Yeah, and I think that's what this is designed for, though. And I'm really bothered that dudes can't sell autographs, because the kids that don't go pro can still... would you not have bought a Ryan Appleby autograph or something?
Sure.
You know what I mean? If the NCAA... What I mean by kicking the NCAA in the butt is exactly that. Let kids at least use their name, maybe catch some endorsement deals, because... Jalen Green probably wouldn't take this route if he knew he could get a Nike deal. Right. Or a Gatorade deal, or he could sell his own autographs and make probably more than $500K. So I think if you let kids use their own name, and I know that raises issues of like, oh, well, certain schools will have better endorsement deals than others. Motherfuckers are getting paid anyway by schools illegally. Yeah. It's just a more legit way to do this. Right. I mean, like, So yeah, I don't know.
I do think it's going to happen, but they'll probably do it in a stupid way.
Yeah.
That probably won't.
I don't trust the NCAA to make a good decision nowadays. The only thing the NCAA has done right in my eyes in like a decade has been college football playoff and allowing Trevor Lawrence to do his COVID GoFundMe. Those are the two things that they've gotten right. And the college football playoff still isn't even right yet.
No, it's not. But yeah, I hope that they do this. That they allow players to make some money. They're gonna have to regulate it somehow, and I don't know. It's gonna be tough, but yeah, they need to do something. But they'll probably fuck it up like they always do. But I also think that they need to. I think they should go back to. I love the way college baseball does it, and I know very few people really care too much about college baseball, but in college baseball, if you go to a 4-year school, you're there for 3 years. Mm-hmm. So you can get a lot of kids do get drafted out of high school, and some of them choose to go to college anyway if they don't like their draft spot. So you can come out of high school, or you go to college for 3 years, or I think you can go to a junior college, and then you're still but there's a couple different options. But I don't like one and dones. Even Isaiah Stewart for Washington this year, loved him, and he was a good one and done player.
I'm not gonna have I don't have any personal connection with him really. I mean, he was here for one season. He did great. Yeah, so I think ultimately implementing a rule like that, if you let kids make money off their names, if you implement some sort of rule where even if either it's 2+ or 3+ or whatever, that would not only convince kids to that would kind of make them have them make a decision. It would be good for the NBA in that the stars that should be in the NBA right away will be there. And then also, it'll be good for the NCAA because you'll start to have household names. Because I mean, JJ Redick, right? He was he didn't he stay for 4 or did he?
I think he might have. I'm not positive on that.
Okay, I might be super wrong on this, but for example, JJ Redick was like one of the most popular, well-known college basketball players of all time. If he leaves after 1 year, that's not the case.
Right.
So you're gonna have more. You're gonna have more college legends. Nowadays. There's not many college legends,
Right.
other than like Kyle Guy because he hit those free throws at the end of the championship game.
Right.
But there's no. I mean, when was the last college basketball legend? You know, like
yeah,
that
it doesn't
one.
happen anymore.
When was the last guy to win 2 NCAA championships?
Yeah.
Like the 80s or something.
You win one and you're gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, hell, it's Jordan stayed for 3 years. That wouldn't happen now.
No.
But it might have been really good for him. He was a very developed player when he came to the NBA. So when he went to Chicago, and Chicago was ass, obviously, at the time, he came out a more developed player, so he was able to kind of handle that role of being the man.
For sure.
And but if you come out and you're not ready, if you come out and you're not physically or mentally ready for that, and the whole city's depending on you,
it can ruin your entire career.
Yes.
And that rolls right into our next piece of news. The Jordan documentary is out. We watched the first episode, not the second yet. Go watch it.
That's awesome.
It's really awesome that ESPN is allowing swear words, and the clean version is on ESPN too. I really like that they're doing that because. So let's see. I have a tweet here from Ramona Shelburne. So when Adam Silver was the head of NBA Entertainment in the 97-98 season, basically the only reason that this exists was that Adam Silver gave MJ complete control over the footage. And the quote here says, "Our agreement will be that neither one of us can use this footage without the other's permission."
Right.
So basically the agreement was, and it's from what it seems, they filmed everything. They were in the locker room right after the game. They're in the training room when Michael's getting taped up. I mean, it seems like they were everywhere. They're behind the scenes at that shoot in France. When Jordan was doing that interview, they're like on the set there. I mean, what footage? What other? You can't find that kind of footage anywhere else.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So Adam Silver, that just further proves he's the best. He wasn't the commissioner at the time, but he's the best employee of any organization of all time. Best commissioner of all time, hands down.
He gets it. He doesn't fight the little stuff.
He understood that down the road, Jordan would be okay with this footage going out. All he had to do was give Jordan control.
Yeah.
And now we're getting all of the footage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even it came out 20 years later, but we're getting all of the footage. If Silver hadn't have given him 100% control over that, we're not seeing this right now.
Probably not, because Jordan's like, no, we're not. No, I need you can't just put everything out there.
And we still have 9 parts to go, but I'm already like mind blown by the stuff we saw.
And you hate Jordan, so
okay. I like Michael Jordan. Okay, I don't want people to be mistaken. It's okay to like LeBron and like Michael Jordan. It's just LeBron is clearly better. It's fine, but I still like
one or the other.
So I mean we won't go too into detail about.
It's great. I knew a lot of the things. The GM Kraus, different Kraus.
It's a bad last name, huh?
It's just a bad last name. Kraus is a horrible last name. Sorry. But I knew that he kind of blew up that team.
Yeah.
And they might have still had another run in him. And I knew he was a joke, but this really goes into detail about
he just looks evil. He looks like an evil little fat stooge.
Yeah, yeah. What's wrong with an evil little fat stooge? And what's the problem here? But anyway, watch it. It's great.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the.
We'll definitely watch the second one probably right after this.
Probably. Yeah.
All right. Next little piece of news. Speaking of stooges, Jay Glazer. Oh, Jesus Christ, man! Oh my God. So if you didn't know, he tweeted out. This is like a week and a half ago. We're way late on this, obviously, but. He tweeted out he had this big news or whatever, and then obviously people started freaking out because big news in sports at this time. People were thinking, Rob Gronkowski to Tampa Bay, like people's minds were running wild. And then he tweets out it's not transactional or free agent or anything. When you tweet that, then it's like people's minds run even more wild.
There's no season. Or,
They're,
you know what I mean? There's like, this is gonna be a huge bomb. Like, oh my God, it's worse. It's not even just a player signing. It's, this is gonna.
You're thinking a nuke is about to drop.
Yeah.
And so he sits on it for 36 hours too. Which, by the way, if you're a reporter, man, like you can speak on this more than me. If you have a piece of big information, put it out in the world. That's your job.
These days, yeah.
You put it, you tweet it, you put it out in the world. And his excuse was he works for Fox, not Twitter. No, you're a reporter. You're your own person. If you find out big news, you let people know. But this big news was that Rams center Brian Allen had coronavirus. Wow. Crazy. Also, like Tom Hanks.
And he was like pretty much over it.
Yeah. And he had it multiple weeks ago. Like, he lost his sense of smell. Like, that was the news.
Yeah, but he's fine now. That's big news.
And then the next day, Rappaport absolutely shits on him by reporting that Von Miller has coronavirus, which then, of course, people were actually freaking out about because it's a big name.
Yeah.
Respect to Brian Allen. I mean, obviously probably...
Yeah, I'm not belittling that he had it or, any of that, but I mean... come on,
dude.
That's not news you sit on. It's a footnote.
And you're like hyping this news up about someone's sickness for clicks.
Yeah,
it's it's
pathetic.
And he said he wasn't doing it for clicks or anything. What were you doing it for? What are you doing it for? Why are you hyping it up?
I don't get it. And I think this hurts him a bit. I mean, he's I think he's kind of a clown, but. He's a good reporter. Like, he gets a lot of stuff that other guys don't get. So he's good. He's good at that. So normally when he has news, it's news, and this wasn't really news. So what's going on?
I just have Twitter open right now, and it refreshed, and Crazy Fan Takes tweeted, Colin Cowherd is at it again. Colin Cowherd's top 10 NFL players. We'll go 10-1. This is happening right now.
Oh my God. Big news. We have big news.
Big news. Actually, we'll talk about it next week,
Yeah.
Okay. Number 10, he has Tom Brady.
Huh.
Number 9, Ezekiel Elliott.
Wow. Okay.
Number 8, Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Number 7, Mike Evans.
Okay.
Which is, spoiler alert, the only receiver on the list.
Okay.
Number 6, Jamal Adams.
What?
He's really good,
He's good.
Number 5, George Kittle.
Yeah, again, he's really good, but is he the fifth best player
probably
in the league?
Best tight end in the league. Not the 5th best player in the entire league, I wouldn't say. Number 4, Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
Which is pretty low for him.
Probably, yeah.
Number 3, Aaron Donald. I can respect that.
Yeah.
Number 2, Christian McCaffrey.
No.
Mm-mm.
He's good, but...
Number 1, Russell Wilson.
Hey! Okay, that list is fucking brilliant.
Yes, we love this list.
Oh my God, Cowherd, you're so smart.
Too bad it was tweeted by Crazy Fan Takes. That's funny. Okay. Let's see. Tua had a bad Wonderlic score.
Yeah.
He had a 13. The average is 20. Richard Sherman tweeted...
Forrest Gump had like a 12, didn't he? I mean, come on.
Richard Sherman tweeted, LOL, if people only knew how guys really treat the Wonderlic. LOL, no one cares. Here's the thing.
I don't buy
if
that.
you're trying to improve your draft stock, you do care. Even if it's not indicative of anything. Tua's smart enough to know that even if it's something that completely has nothing to do with your skill on the football field, if it affects your draft stock, you try hard at it. So Tua, a guy with a 4.0, by all accounts, a super hard worker, he's not just going to piss that away. He's not just going to not try. So the thing is, though, if you guys don't know what the Wonderlic is, it's not an intelligence test. It's a quick decision making kind of test. You have 12 minutes to answer 50 questions, so you have to move fast. You don't have time to answer them all unless you guess. I took it. I got a 28.
Wow.
which is actually pretty dang good.
Wow, your draft stock just improved.
My draft stock just improved, but Tua only got a 13. The refutation, I guess, to the Wonderlic being important. And these numbers, obviously, these numbers can be skewed, but these are just examples. So Jamarcus Russell got 24.
Bust.
Ryan Leaf 27.
Huge bust.
Johnny Manziel 32.
Bust.
And Blaine Gabbert 42.
Wow.
And then you have Terry Bradshaw 16. Jim Kelly 15. Dan Marino 15. Donovan McNabb 14. The way I look at this is any test that was around when Terry Bradshaw was around needs to be updated. We can't be using the same test from 1824. I mean, like we need something new here. I didn't know this had been around for so long.
Yeah.
It's kind of dumb. It seems like every player I've heard talk about it, every NFL player I've heard talk about it thinks it's a joke, but teams are still taking it seriously, clearly.
Yeah, and I don't know how, because I think I don't know what Cam Newton's was, but I felt like his wasn't very good, and he was the number one pick. So I don't know how seriously they take it, but I bet they do use it as a tiebreaker. You know what I mean?
He had a 21, so it's just above average.
All right, that's okay. Never mind then. That's not a deal breaker. But you know but if he had gotten a 12, does he go number one? Maybe it changes their mind. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, Cameron Jordan was clowning it too. Stink Schlereth.
Yeah.
He was on the Pat McAfee show and he was like heated about it because he said that NFLPA should, since these are a medical record or something, the fact that these scores are being released is like messed up and
that's all. Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah, so I agree. And Stink said, by the way, Stink Mark Schlereth is I think 3-time Super Bowl champion offensive lineman for the Chiefs and the Broncos and maybe other teams. But he said if he was the leader of the NFLPA, they would not be taking this test anymore because the scores keep getting released and also it doesn't mean shit.
Yeah, I mean, it must mean something. Why do they do it if it means nothing? There must be there must be some sort of at least slight correlation. You know, there are exceptions. You know, there are obviously exceptions both ways. Like, you know, you can get a good score and be a shitty player, or you can get a shitty score and be a Hall of Famer. But is there some sort of even slight correlation? There must be, or why do it?
And Sherman saying that guys don't treat the Wonderlic seriously.
That's bullshit.
He would know better than us, I guess, but these guys want their draft stock to be good.
Yeah.
They're not just gonna like it would be really dumb of them to not try on this. Also, apparently if you get 10, that means you're literate. Like the bar is 10 for being literate, and Jerry Jeudy scored a 9. Roll Tide, baby. Yeah, so
I mean, Sherman creates his own reality, and I love Richard Sherman. I know a lot of people don't right now from Seattle, but I still love Richard Sherman.
I love Sherman too.
But he does create his own reality, you know.
I'm gonna look up his score.
So I don't know.
24. I got a better score on the Wonderlic than Richard Sherman.
I think that I think most players try on that because you don't want to slip one pick. It costs you money.
It would just be
every
stupid.
Pick you slide costs you money.
You never know which GM will take it seriously.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
All right, moving on. Christian McCaffrey.
Oh boy.
4 years, $64 million. Woo! So.
Wow.
The thing about this is running backs do not matter that much. Why is he getting paid?
Still matter.
They matter, sure. But not that much. I mean,
maybe not quite that much. Yeah, I wouldn't pay a guy that much.
Okay, I have a couple things. Why? Okay, sorry, it's taking forever to load. But yeah, so he's getting paid $16 million a year, which when you compare to a lot of other positions, he's obviously the top paid running back right now. Compared to other positions, top paid players, running backs are still low on the list. But I mean, that takes up so much room. That's a statement that they're building around Christian McCaffrey, who led them to a 5-11 record this year on a historic season statistically.
You don't teams that okay. First of all, I'm a running back guy.
Yeah,
I've always loved that position. I know the game has changed a lot, but I still love running backs. I mean, fucking Beastquake, right? Don't tell me running backs don't matter.
Yeah.
We don't win a Super Bowl without Beastquake.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, if you're a shitty football team, you don't go get yourself a running back. If you're the Jets, who's that
Le'Veon.
guy? Le'Veon Bell. You don't pay Le'Veon Bell. No. How many games did they win this year?
Now he's untradeable too.
Yeah, you don't pay a running back should be kind of almost your final piece. Like you better have a quarterback. Right, your running back doesn't mean jack shit if you don't have a quarterback. That's why the Panthers won 5 games. They didn't have a quarterback.
So I did a decent amount of, I say decent amount of research. I did a little bit of research. So the question I wanted to ask myself was, how far does the offensive line get you, and how much does scheme play in? Which those two questions are pretty much unanswerable.
Yeah, it's really hard. Yeah.
So these are some stats I gathered by myself. So DVOA is defense adjusted value over average, which basically means how efficient you are over the average efficiency, and it's adjusted for how good the defense you're facing is.
Yeah. Which is also hard to measure.
So keep in mind, all of this stuff is really hard to measure. So who knows exactly how accurate it is? But these are guys that their entire lives are devoted to statistics.
Right.
So I'm just gonna believe them.
It's as good a measure as anything.
Just like I believe scientists, I'm gonna believe these guys.
Right.
So teams with 5 of the top 6 offensive lines, according to PFF, rank in the top 10 rushing DVOA. And that 6th team, Philly, is 12th. So that means, so the top 5 of the top 6 offensive lines are also in the top 10 rushing.
Yeah.
That's not a coincidence.
Yeah.
That's not a coincidence. Take DeMarco Murray and Darren McFadden for an example. They go to Dallas and they each have multiple 1,000-yard rushing seasons. DeMarco Murray leaves and he sucks absolute ass. Yeah. Darren McFadden was bad for a couple years before he went to Dallas. He shows up to Dallas, all of a sudden is good again, and then he leaves Dallas and then sucks absolute ass.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're known for having a good offensive line. The Panthers were 11-5 with the last year. They had a fully healthy Cam, which I don't think. 2018, I don't think it didn't. Cam was not fully healthy.
Right.
They were 11-5. Christian McCaffrey had 1,100 total yards and 7 total touchdowns. This last year, 2,400 total yards and 19 touchdowns for Christian McCaffrey, and they go 5-11.
Yeah.
Obviously, quarterbacks matter more than running backs, but then why are you paying a running back this much?
That's what, sometimes a lot of bad franchises do that because you're the GM of the Panthers or you're the owner, and you're like, Christian McCaffrey is everybody, everyone around Carolina is wearing, there are 2 Carolinas, by the way. Did you know that?
Whoa.
Yeah. In North and South Carolina, they're wearing, what number is he? 25?
Not 25. I don't remember that.
Whatever number he is, that's what they're wearing. So if you're the owner, you're like, shit, we can't let him go. He's our identity. He's what the fans come to see. If we lose him, who are the fans going to care about?
22, by the way.
22. Okay.
Doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. So I think that they have trouble letting those big name guys go.
Yeah.
But you're gonna set your franchise back probably because by the time you find a quarterback, if they do, Christian McCaffrey will be washed up probably.
They're paying Teddy Bridgewater $21 million a year too for 3 years. Right. So the next 3 years they're locked in with Teddy and Christian, and that's pretty much it. That's all they got. I mean, Luke Kuechly left. Like, Whew, it doesn't look very good, especially with the NFC South being probably the second best division right now. I would say behind the NFC West.
Yeah.
They have Brady, Breeze, and I think the Falcons will maybe be better this year. I'm not really sure. Whoever knows how the Falcons are going to be.
They're the opposite of what's predicted.
Yeah.
ATL.
So I have a little graph here from an article on The Athletic via your boy, Ben Baldwin.
Oh, Jesus.
So a little background on Ben Baldwin. He is 100% hard-headed on analytics, and I tend to agree with him on most of his opinions, but he is so locked in on his, like, he cannot be told otherwise, which kind of annoys me, but I still think a lot of his work is good. Anyway, so EPA, for those who don't know, is expected points added. So that basically means on a given play, how many points you add into the scoreboard, which means, if you have like 0.2, like that's pretty solid. Like, so yeah. Early down EPA per play by targeted position. So basically what this means is okay. So, okay, yeah, this might be kind of boring, but this article is about throwing to running backs, which obviously is a huge thing. Christian McCaffrey, that's a big part of his pull, is being able to throw to him. So I'll throw the graph up on the screen for YouTube viewers. Running backs have like half of the EPA per play when they're thrown to on early downs as tight ends and wide receivers. So the argument is, why are we throwing to running backs so much now? Nowadays, running backs are being targeted via pass so much. And you have, obviously, Christian McCaffrey's EPA is probably way above average than most. But if you just look at the graph, it's very clear that throwing to running backs, especially on early downs, is not effective. And then the other graph is early down EPA success rate. So whatever is considered a successful play based on EPA. It looks better for running backs here, but they're still lower than the other two positions. So I don't know a lot about analytics. I'm not super well versed, so I'm not gonna touch on it for too long. But basically, what he's saying is running the ball isn't as valuable as passing, which is one of his arguments, and also passing to running backs isn't as valuable as passing to other people because you're not throwing a ball down the field, and when they are down the field. Look at the throw with when Josh Allen hucked up that throw to his fullback like 40 yards down the field in that playoff game. I mean, the dude had no chance.
Yeah.
So why are we throwing to running backs so much, kind of thing?
I think, what's hard about football is, okay, so I could look at this EPA shit that you're talking about, and it might say, who's the best receiver in the league? Would you say
Michael Thomas? I guess.
So what's the Saints EPA when they target Michael Thomas? It's really high. Well, why don't they just fucking throw him the ball every play? Every play. Why don't they just do that? You know why? Because they'd have 11 guys guarding him, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you got to throw a dump pass, to make them respect. It's all about you need to have them respect parts of the field. So, yeah, you run the ball, so the linebackers are like, okay, I gotta watch, and even the safety is like, okay, shit, I gotta watch for this, and you hope you create that extra step. So yeah, you can't just. I think Baldwin must play Madden football and run the same damn play like I used to do, but that doesn't work because coordinators watch tape and they watch the game as it goes, and they hopefully make adjustments. So I think you throw to the running back, you run the ball, you throw the tight end, to make teams respect that portion of the field.
Okay, so why are the Seahawks a run first team?
Yeah, I mean. That's a good question. And
we have Russell fucking Wilson. Why are we a run first team? Why are we run pass?
We won a Super Bowl being run first team.
Yeah, when Russell Wilson was a rookie and we had the best defense of all time.
Yeah. No, it's hard. The old man in me, I definitely still believe in running the ball and playing defense. I think the Seahawks were too heavy on that last year. I can't argue that too much, but I do think, if you run the ball, it shortens the game, which can be beneficial. I think if you look historically, first of all, I'll say this forever: you have to have a quarterback to win. There are very few exceptions to that.
Yeah.
If you didn't have a quarterback, you had, you can name the three greatest defenses of all time, and those are teams that won Super Bowls without having a great quarterback at the time. But no, I think it's just, again, you just have to, you have to be multiple. You have to do different things to be successful.
I agree. I sit in kind of in between football guy and analytics guy, because there's a reason football guys find success. Obviously, there's a reason that football guys are still around and still winning games. But when we have these advanced analytics that tell us that one thing works more than the other, emphasize the one thing that works more than the other. That doesn't mean do it every single time, but the fact that we have one of the worst offensive lines in the league, and we're trying to run the ball on first and second down, it's ridiculous. Like, it doesn't work. It does, like, right. Our offense was not as good as it should have been this year. If Russell Wilson lets it loose, I think Russell Wilson should be calling plays, if I'm being completely honest. When 2-minute drill, there was a series, I completely forget the game in the series.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
There was a series where the headsets weren't working.
Yeah.
And Russell Wilson drove right down the field and scored. And that was, I believe that was the easiest drive that we had the entire game.
Right.
Like, Russell should just turn his goddamn headset off. He like,
oops, sorry.
Yeah. Huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that they do need a shift. I don't think they should shift as far as some people do. Again, I think it's important. I think balance is important. I think they were too run heavy. But you still have to run the ball, and he's not, I love Russell Wilson, but he's not a guy that, I don't think he's going to succeed if we go completely pretty much throwing the ball all the time. I think he needs that balance, to keep defenses honest to be successful.
Here's another tweet. Devontae Adams and Stephon Diggs will both make less than $16 million this year. They'll each generate 2 times the WAR that the top running back does in a given year. I don't, not entirely. WAR confuses me as a stat. I don't know how I don't even know what wins above replacement means. So I'm not gonna act like this is even a legit. This could be completely wrong. It's from a guy at PFF, so I'm gonna go ahead and assume that it's a statistic that is worth talking about. I know WAR is used a ton in baseball. It's not really used that much in football for whatever reason. But they're making less money and they're going to be essentially twice as productive.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't give a running back big money these days, because I do think that they're more replaceable than they used to be. And then also just the injury factor and the longevity factor. I mean, most of them are done at 28, 29 years old. So, yeah, I would not pay Christian McCaffrey that. I do think I think he's a great player and could contribute to a Super Bowl team. But yeah, pay him $7 million a year. Sure, I'm in. But man, they're gonna pay him this, and he's gonna get freaking hurt. And
yep.
They're going to be eating that salary. He's probably going to get cut after 2 seasons because they won't want to pay it anymore, and then they're going to have dead money. That's what bad franchises do.
And now that he's getting paid this much, he's already getting a ton of touches and getting just absolutely slammed every single play. Now that money is going to put even more pressure on him to get him the ball. Yeah. So he's going to, and depending on how Teddy Bridgewater does this year, I know Teddy Bridgewater will be perfectly fine handing the ball to him pretty much every play. It seems like Teddy Bridgewater would be perfectly happy with that. Or doing checkdowns or whatever. But it goes back to the question, how far does the offensive line really get you? So yards per carry, according to the analytics guys, isn't a super great stat to look at. Mm. But over 4 yards per carry is good, right? Yeah. I mean, how much work does the running back really do to get more than 3 yards? other than that, it's the offensive line letting someone in, right? If you're tackled behind the line, that's 100% the offensive line's fault, unless you're like Trent Richardson and you just run right into the back of everyone when you have a huge hole open. But, other than that quick decision that you have to make on which hole to hit or whether to bounce it outside or whatever, the offensive line, I believe the offensive line is what gets you 4 yards downfield. I think maybe 5+, then it's up to you. But 4 yards down the field, offensive line are driving guys forward. And most of the time, when you see a guy get 4 yards, the offensive line, like, he's a foot ahead of where the offensive line ended in the play.
Yeah. The guys who average 5+ yards per carry are usually the top of the top, upper echelon guys that break big plays because they, they're more elusive or have
they can make guys
speed.
miss.
But no, on most plays, anybody who runs a 4.6 is going to get those 4 yards, almost no matter who it is.
There's a reason. Yeah. There's a reason Nyheim Hines stepped right in for Marlon Mack on the Colts and did good.
Yeah.
Marlon Mack might be a really good running back, and maybe their backups are good too. I don't know. It's hard to tell, especially only after 1 year. But I think the Colts obviously have an incredible offensive line. I think you put Marlon Mack on, I don't know, who has a bad offensive line? I don't know. You put Marlon Mack on a team with a bad offensive line, and I think he's like not good, maybe. Well, or Nyheim Hines, same thing.
An example of why running backs are maybe important is, we saw this year, Chris Carson gets hurt, the San Diego State guy gets hurt.
Yeah.
And then they're using this Travis Homer, who was a 7th round pick.
Yeah.
A little undersized. Maybe not the best vision, and it hurt the team. So having a capable run, like, you can't just put the argument that you can put anyone in there is ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
But
either.
there are probably, it's not a position that you should pay a lot of money to or draft highly for. You draft a guy in the 3rd or 4th round. Some of them are going to be bust, but you're going to find a guy that can fill in capably, most years. So
we're going to fucking draft a running back in the 1st round, aren't we?
Probably, yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah, man.
Probably.
I hope we trade our pick because our last 2 first-round picks have been absolute swings and misses.
They've struggled in the 1st round.
Penny, I still think Penny could be good.
Yeah, he might be.
Not incredible. I still think he could be a solid guy. But LJ Collier was healthy and active last year.
Ugh.
And I don't know, man. For some reason, we pick really good players in, the 2nd round.
Yeah, the first round onward. First round has been really bad. Year after year, they just haven't done. It's funny. Their first year, they had 2 first-round picks, and they drafted that offensive lineman. Russell Okung.
Yeah,
and they drafted Earl Thomas. Like, that's freaking great. Like, give me that every year.
Yeah.
But then after that, I don't know. I think they just kind of got too cute.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why they struggle in the 1st round and find guys in the later rounds. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense,
I think, I always like to see us take a 1st-round pick just because it's exciting, but
yeah,
especially this year with the lack of scouting that was able to happen, I just hope we trade. And I also think this draft is going to, apparently according to, I think there's an NFL GM that said this, all the mock drafts are more wrong this year than they have ever been. So I'm really pumped to see this draft because they were talking about it on the Pat McAfee show when guys are at the combine and at these pro days, they talk to each other and there's kind of like these group opinions start to form just from word of mouth. These group opinions start to form about guys. So that's when you see, maybe a Johnny Manziel slip from 1 to 22 or whatever, But this year, everyone has to do their own research and they have limited resources, and they're not, GMs aren't talking, scouts and GMs aren't talking to each other this year because they're all by themselves.
It is such a crapshoot. It's like the draft experts don't know anything. I don't know.
It's incredible that
the
Mel
GMs
Kiper
don't know anything.
Yeah, it's incredible that Mel Kiper is in the position he is. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the only thing he's ever done is the draft stuff.
Yeah.
That was like the first thing he was known for, and it's the only thing he's been known for since. And he just gets stuff wrong. He said Julio Jones can't catch.
Right.
Like, you get stuff right sometimes too, I guess, but
But the
if
GMs
you
get
give
stuff
me all
wrong.
year to look at prospects, I would have the same hit rate as Mel Kiper, I bet.
Yeah, and you might have the same hit rate as the GMs.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about this before, but if you ask me, is this player going to be a star or a bust? I would say bust for every player in the entire draft, and I would be right probably 3 out of 4 times because they're, most players are busts.
Yeah.
However you want to define bust. So it's, I don't know, it's such a crapshoot.
Can you check where we're at, by the way, on Tiempo? So it'll be
56 minutes.
Okay, it'll be super interesting to see where this goes with the draft.
The draft is like buying Christmas presents for a child, okay? Like, they're under the tree, and they're all shiny as shit, and the kid comes down the stairs, and freaking Santa Claus came, and they're all excited, and they open the stuff up, and we're all happy, and it's the best. Like, that is the best, opening up all these shiny things, and then 3 days later, like, most of the presents were busts, right? Like, that one never even got fucking opened. Like, the box, like, you open it and you're like, oh, wow. And then, it gets set aside. And, I still have a remote control boat in the garage that we got you when you were like 8 years old. Never came out of the goddamn box.
Oh, my God. That's funny.
So, that's what the draft is, right? It's super exciting. We have these new shiny toys. But, we're not, half of them aren't going to get played with. Or going to be disappointments, or you're excited about for a few days, and then they're dog shit after that. They'll be in the donation pile. So so the draft is tough, but it's a fun, I love it though. It's so fun.
Yeah.
Whether it's you like the pick or don't like the pick, DK Metcalf. Every man and woman in Seattle had a stiffy that day.
Yeah.
And then there's LJ Collier. You're like, who the hell is this guy? Wait, he's
a heavy-handed defensive end from
he's
TCU.
kind of short and thick,
but he's heavy-handed. He can push guys around.
He's 24 years old. Wait.
Hopefully I can find a GIF or a highlight of his ankles getting shattered by Lamar Jackson. That was the only highlight he had this year. Was a Lamar Jackson highlight. That was the only highlight he was a part of. All right, so I guess, we're pretty good on time. I guess just to wrap it up here, we'll do a couple Would You Rathers that I prepared.
Okay.
These shouldn't take up too much time. So this is something we kind of briefly debated, really kind of in our heads. We didn't go in depth, but would you rather have a Rose Bowl win or a college football playoff loss?
Oh, boy. That's a tough one, because I'll tell you, so, UW went to the Final Four in 2016. We've talked about this before, but, super exciting day when they made the Final Four. And so you have, that Final Four is named in early December, and the Final Four games are, so you have basically a month, right, or close to a month, where you're like believing, hey, we got a shot, we're in the Final Four.
Yeah.
ESPN's talking about your team and their chances, and your coaches everywhere talking, and it's so the anticipation, the build up for it, and the belief that your team, hey, yeah, maybe we're not the best, but we got a shot. We're in
games. Just gotta win 2 games.
Win 2 games. It could happen. So that month is awesome.
Yeah.
That belief is awesome. Now the Rose Bowl. It's sad. I'm a Rose Bowl guy. I love the Rose Bowl, but the build up to it is, if they're not in the Final Four, it's like, hey, this is really cool.
It's lost a lot of meaning.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, but I still love it. I think old guys still love it, but yeah, you don't have that anticipation of, hey, we got a shot. If you win the Rose Bowl, though, that whole off season feels great. Like
Yeah.
we won the goddamn Rose Bowl, the granddaddy of them all. That was so cool. Like we beat the number 8 team in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
This is so great. So that whole off season feels good. So to me, it's like, would I rather have that month of belief and anticipation, or that off season of feeling really good about the program and hey, maybe next year, maybe we'll get that Final Four. So it's a tough call. What do you?
I think I'm taking a playoff loss. Also, the another kind of variable I'm putting into it is I want the Pac-12 to be respected. That being said, I don't want teams like Oregon to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I will, in general, I'll back the Pac, not for a few teams, like I don't want Wazoo to win a national championship. I like Wazoo people. I don't like have this bitter hatred for Wazoo. No. That being said, I can't have them winning a championship.
No, we can't have that.
But in general, I'll back the Pac, and because I want the Pac-12 to get this respect that I think they do deserve, I think I'll take a playoff loss.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, the Rose Bowl might be in the playoff. The playoff, one of the playoff games might be the Rose Bowl. It's right. Weird. It's weird nowadays.
Yeah, so. It is. Yeah. I always, for me, I mean, I would, hey, if my team went to the Rose Bowl and won it, that'd be great. I'd love it. But yeah, I want that. I want that belief that they can win it all.
Yeah.
I want that feeling, that leading up to it, the anticipation of, wow, we got a shot. We got a shot. Exactly. Because we have that, right? Every preseason with every team. There's some stupid little part of me every year that's like, hey, things go right, the Mariners might make it to the World Series, right? And the rational side of me is like, dude, are you
Shut
high?
Shut up. Yeah, stop. 420 was yesterday.
How many growlers did you get at Whistle Stop? But that's what we love about sports, right? We love that anticipation, the build up to it. That's as fun as the game. So yeah, give me that over the Rose Bowl win. But boy, I love the Rose Bowl. I still think it is the greatest bowl game in terms of just the whole event. Everything about it is the best. You got the parade and all those sorts of things. Okay, hey, I went to Rose Bowls. So that's part of it for me, I guess.
Yeah.
But man, I love it. But yeah, give me the shot in the playoffs. I need that. I need that shot again.
This one, I think people might just be even mad that this is even I had consideration for this. Would you rather have Super Bowl? Okay, I guess pick one of the four, I suppose.
Okay.
Super Bowl, another Super Bowl win, an NCAA championship, basketball or football. I'm assuming you choose football there. A World Series, or the Sonics return.
Oh boy. Whew, that's hard. So
there's going to be a lot of people that are like, Sonics return? Like, why would you even think about that? Guess what, man? I like basketball. I like basketball, okay? And I love the Sonics, and we deserve a team, and I think it would make the city very happy. And also, it would boost us even more.
Right. Yeah, I think there's a lot of... It's funny. National ratings of the NBA in Seattle are pretty good. So all you people who say you don't... I know some of you don't, but some of you are watching it and you're freaking liars.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would love... that's hard, man, because... the Seahawks have won a Super Bowl. The Huskies have won, a national championship, or two halves of them, or whatever whatever your beliefs are on that. So the things that jumped out at me right away are, I would love. Can you imagine how fun it would be to see, even though college basketball is not my favorite, like how awesome would that be to go to a Final
March
Four
Madness,
and go to the championship game?
Yeah.
I mean, that would be really awesome. And then the World Series. I mean, I would love to see that. That one seems even more unrealistic.
It's like far fetched. Yeah, it's like such a weird, distant like dream, you know.
But I think if you had asked me a couple of years ago, I probably would have said World Series. Boy, that's tough. Oh, it's just tough.
It really is. I don't have an answer.
Back. I want the Sonics back.
I know. I don't really have an answer for this. I guess I've seen. Okay, the logic. I'll wipe out Super Bowl because I've seen that happen. I've just
we
you know,
did it.
Even though I would say I'm probably a bigger Seahawks fan than I am a Mariners fan, and at this point I'm probably even maybe a bigger Seahawks fan than I am a UW fan. I don't know. It's pretty much the same, but.
Yeah.
I've already seen a Super Bowl, so I'll just take that out.
Yeah.
World Series, I'm just like, I'm pissed at the Mariners. Like, I'm
just kind of down on baseball in general.
And I mean, I'm pissed at the MLB currently. I'm pissed. I hate Robert Manfred. I am more in boycott of the MLB than the NBA right now. Even though I'm not boycotting either. In my head, I hate the MLB even more than the NBA, which is weird. But
yeah, that is weird.
It's very weird, but I don't know. That's just how my brain works. Because the current NBA didn't however you want to look at it, the current NBA did not do Seattle wrong. Adam Silver did
Where's
not.
my team?
Adam Silver did not do Seattle wrong, and also
Adam Silver can give me a team right now. What the fuck's he doing? He got nothing better to do.
NBA owners are gonna want this money back that they're losing. I think this opens the door for. I genuinely believe.
Adam Silver.
I genuinely believe this opens the door more so than ever for a Sonics return because, I don't know if you guys know how this works, but there's a buy-in cost for an NBA team, and each owner gets an equal split of the pie. It's going to be like $1 billion to get into the NBA. At least. So that means NBA owners are going to each get $1 billion divided by 30, whatever that is.
Yeah, whatever.
A lot of fucking money, basically.
Yeah.
So I think that opens the door. Anyway, that has nothing to do with the question, though. I think, although I'm a bigger football, I'm definitely a bigger NCAA football fan than an NCAA basketball fan. I think a March Madness run would be more fun to watch.
God, that would be so fun.
I think a March Madness run would be more fun to watch.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna eliminate NCAA championship for football. That leaves me with World Series. Actually, no, I eliminated World Series. That leaves me with NCAA championship, March Madness championship, or the Sonics. Give me the Sonics. Give me the Sonics. Give me the Sonics. Honestly, it's such a wild, it's such a crazy thought to have that I would rather have a shitty, for the next foreseeable future will be a shitty team probably with expansion draft. It's an insane thought to have, and I realize it's weird. It's a very unpopular opinion, but give me the Sonics.
Yeah, gosh, my head is just spinning right now.
Yeah.
It's hard because you're telling me if I get the Sonics, I can't win shit anywhere, basically, right?
No, that doesn't mean you can't win anything. That just
I'm guaranteed.
Yeah. So
okay. So I still have a shot.
You still have a shot, especially with the Seahawks. I mean, I would say the closest would probably be the Seahawks. You still have a decent shot at a Super Bowl. As long as Wilson and Pete are around, probably.
Yeah, give me the Sonics. So Adam Silver. He didn't take our team, but he hasn't given us one.
Mm-hmm.
Get it done, motherfucker. You're good at getting stuff done. Make this right.
Yep.
We deserve a team. Put one here. Put one in Vegas. Boom. Done. Do it. It's not hard.
Yep. Or Vancouver. Anywhere.
I don't care. Put it on fucking Mars. Whatever. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, with that, I guess kind of wild and potentially very unpopular opinion, I think that's probably a decent cutoff point, right?
All the people who hate the NBA, if the Sonics came back, they're in. They're in.
Oh yeah, that's the thing, and that's the thing is you're boycotting the NBA. Adam Silver, just look at what he's done. He's the best commissioner of all time. I know he hasn't done it yet, but he said he wants to. Dwayne Wade is interested in bringing a team here. Kevin Garnett is. Now that owners want more money because they've lost a bunch this year, they're going to be way more likely. The talent pool, I think, is definitely good enough that I think there's no question.
I'm in on hating the NBA now and liking them when my team is back.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
the guys who hate the NBA, great, hate it. I'm kind of with you. But the minute we get a team, they'll be back in.
Yeah, and
But give me my goddamn team or
Yeah.
go fuck yourselves.
I respect that. I like basketball. I like watching basketball. Yeah. I like the NBA. Anyway.
Sometimes you raise your kids wrong. You know? You try.
I mean, yeah, David Stern is dead. Howard Schultz absolutely failed at running for president. I think once we get a team, which, by the way, I should probably just mention this on the podcast in general. I did put out a tweet, I think a year or two ago, that said if the Sonics get a team before 2025, I'll get a tattoo of Gary Payton's face and Sean Kemp's face on my ass. So, I'm just putting that out in the world, and I will do it, and I will be happy to do it. It'll be, to me, it is worth that price. That is the price I'll pay. So, it is worth it. So, Adam Silver, if you're watching this, man, it'll be really funny if you make me do that, and I hope you do. Okay, anyway, I think it's good to end here, probably.
I think we're in a good spot. I think once you mention, tattoo on your ass, that's just the walk-off, right?
Yeah.
Game over.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure multiple people have that tweet screenshotted and saved, so, I will hold myself to it. I really will do that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So anyway, if you guys made it this far, once again, thank you so much. Buy the book. When is it available right now?
Yeah, you can get it at Hulu.com, the hard copy, or you can also download it digitally.
You say Hulu?
Did I say Jesus Christ? Lulu,
not Hulu.
Sorry, my bad. LULU.com.
It has not been turned into a TV series yet.
Yeah, not yet. Not soon. But that's probably the most cost-effective way to get it, but you can also download it through there or through your Apple app or Barnes & Noble.
Amazon too, right?
Amazon still isn't, I don't know what they're doing. It's still not there yet.
Yeah, that's whatever.
Although I haven't checked for a while, but so anyway, but it's $1.99 to download it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can download it and read it digitally.
It's a really good book. It's a kind of a, describe it for a second.
Oh gosh, I don't even know how to. I think it's a fun read, some edgy humor. It's suspenseful.
A thriller for sure.
A pretty quick read.
It is, yeah. I don't really read, and I read it really quick. So yeah. And follow me on Twitter at Mason Charles Coe. What's your Twitter?
Aaron Coe 29.
Aaron Coe 29. Hopefully we'll both be tweeting more. I'm trying to tweet more. And then I guess add you on Facebook.
Yeah, find me.
Aaron Coe on Facebook. So, again, if you made it this far, shout out to you. Don't know why you're still listening or watching, but you still are, so that's great. Anyway, hope you guys have a great quarantine. Stay safe, stay away from people. Peace out.
Bye-bye.